What's up, everybody? This is a video you definitely do not want to miss because yesterday I dropped a video about the altcoin market, how low it is right now, and the opportunity that I see. In this video, I want to talk about what I have been buying. I want to talk about a chart that if you are worried about altcoins, this will take all your worries away, and also about a gem that got an upgrade, which is my highest conviction bet, and I'm going fully hard on it. So, welcome. I hope you are all surviving so far. I see a lot of mixed comments lately. A lot of people say, wow, this is an opportunity, and a lot of people say it's over. And honestly, both of these sides don't have the right answer, right? But it's about a matter of odds. If the market is low, my opinion is then you should buy. And if you are scared or think that it's over every time that it's low, yeah, then you basically never buy, right? So then there's also no reward. So of course you could say to yourself like, well, yeah, but this time is different. Okay, let me show you why I think in one chart that this time is actually the same insane opportunity that we have got 2 times before. And again, a couple coins that I've been buying. But firstly, the market. If you look at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin went down to 100, or not even 100, $98,500. It's now back at the moment of recording at 102. So Bitcoin is showing that, there's nothing weird going on with Bitcoin. It touched 382 level basically, and it's now bouncing. Could it go back there? Definitely. I mean, we are 1 day later. It's maybe not over yet, but I do want to mention, don't be too concerned when it comes to Bitcoin. It's been doing what it's been doing every time. It ranges, it makes it sweeps these lows, it makes a lower low, and then it's in for a final rally. And what we also discussed, and which should play out this week, which is something to at least consider, is of course the global M2. And the global M2 has been, like so correct for a long time. If the global M2 stays correct, right? So if the global M2 stays correct and Bitcoin keeps on following the global M2 like it has been doing for a long time, then we should see a huge move starting this week, right? And that can go far into July, August, maybe even September before we get our first real correction. Now, not saying that it has to happen, right? But so far, again, Bitcoin has been following the global M2 like a copy paste, and the global M2 is now mooning, and that's something that we should keep in consideration, right? I know we have wars right now, yeah, but do you also know that we have like the biggest adoption for Bitcoin and crypto that we could have ever thought about, and that Bitcoin is still just 100K. It's only 30% higher than the 2021 bull market, when there was like nowhere close this kind of adoption and mainstream awareness, right? So I don't think that that should just have a 30% price increase. It doesn't make sense in any way. So let's talk about a couple alts that I've been buying and one altcoin that is going to outperform extremely hard whenever the market turns around. Okay, now I know it's a patience game. Congrats to the ones with patience, of course, because eventually you are going to make it, right? The real lows are for buying, and the higher prices are for taking profits, of course. If we take a look at the altcoin market right now, yeah, I mean, it's still well within this range right here. And we went somewhat to the lower side of it. And yesterday I said like, well, I'm not buying that much. Then again, I looked at my portfolio and I looked at certain coins and the prices that they had right now. And I was like, okay, let me buy with, what was it? 30% of the cash that I have. So I deployed a decent amount of cash in the altcoin market yesterday, and I'm going to talk about what I bought exactly. But first, there are, of course, comments and thoughts and feelings and theses and whatever that this time is different. Why? Probably because you're in the middle of it, right? And then it feels bad. It feels different. I do think, though, the people that have been here in the last cycle, and maybe even in the cycle before, they feel like, okay, it still feels bad, but we have seen this before, right? It's not like maybe the timing is a little more to the right, etc., but the movements and all of that, I don't see major differences, actually. Now, if we look at an altcoin season chart, this is the best alt season chart you can get, basically. You can take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, but the Bitcoin dominance is just showing how Bitcoin is doing against everything else. So yeah, against stables as well. So if Bitcoin goes up, the Bitcoin dominance goes up because stables don't. So I don't know how relevant this chart is, but then again, if I look at this chart, hey, the Bitcoin dominance hit the 786 level, which is a big level. Is this the point where we can say like, hey, full reversal, or just a correction, or maybe it doesn't give shit at all and just breaks through? Look, that's hard to say. All I know is this level is not something that you feel like, we should just ignore that, right? Definitely not. Also, if we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance without stable coins, that starts to get a little interesting. Right? Because Bitcoin dominance, again, against stable coins, yeah, that's fine, but that says nothing about altcoins. That only says something if Bitcoin is going up or down. But if we take away the biggest stable coins, USDC, USDT, DAI, and BUSD, well, a couple of the biggest stable coins, then you can see that the Bitcoin dominance is sitting in the higher range. It's been in a range. It doesn't go back further on this chart. I will pop up a chart soon that makes it give more history. But it is at the range highs right now. Right now, can it go up with another 2% or whatever? Yeah, sure, like tomato, whatever, right? Overall, can it also drop with, you know, at least 25%, maybe even 34%, and if the range continues, even 40%? Yeah, so risk reward. If this was an altcoin, no one in his right mind is saying like, okay, let's go open a long position right now. Although, you know, it might play out for a little bit, the risk reward is not worth it in my opinion. Right? And therefore it's impossible at this level to flip bearish on altcoins, and the lower they go and the higher the Bitcoin dominance goes, the more bullish I become on altcoins. Right? Because there is so much more up than downside. So again, I know people said like, hey, you said this for a while. Yeah, but I am not trying to time the bottom. Okay, I try to look at these high ranges and be like, man, close enough. I'm DCAing for months, right? And if it then goes down eventually, I'm fine. But there's a chart that shows alt season way better than this even. And that's this. Total 3, everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH. ES excluding stables on their Bitcoin pair. So what's that actually? Every altcoin in the top 125, excluding ETH, right? It's also an altcoin, on their Bitcoin pair. So a better alt season chart on TradingView you can't get, in my opinion. Now, if we look what's happening right now, you might, there are multiple ways to look at this, right? You can say alts have been ranging and they broke down. It's bad. That's a way to look at it. But let's take a look at the last market before we went into alt season. Alts were ranging, they broke down. You could have said, oh, that's bad. You could have also said, hey, this point is even better than this point. Let's get in. And you rode an insane wave of alt season-ish kind of things. So if you think that this time is different when it comes to alt season, then this might comfort you. Now, I know it's just one cycle that we now compared with, right? So we had a range, breakdown, and here we had a range, breakdown. What about the cycle before that, though? Because we had 2 alt seasons so far, right? So let's take a look at that. Wow, wouldn't you know? We had a range, right? Depending a little how you draw it, right? You can draw it like this, whatever it may be. Eventually, final breakdown. Now, a lot of people are scared, like, oh, it's a lower low, it's over. Again, here we were constantly making lower lows, and this lower low, like, yeah, the structure is bearish. So, you know, how many people probably thought, like, oh, time to get out. Yeah, this happens, right? So, if I look at what's going on right now, it actually looks the same as last cycle and the same as the cycle before, right? Where altcoins on their Bitcoin pair go into a long bear market, range, final wipe, down, alt season. Long bear market, range was boring you to death right here as well, right? Long range, final wipeout, alt season. Bear market, long range, final wipeout. If you visualize this, hey, this was a lot quicker than this. This was a lot quicker than this. So, yeah, could it be that when it comes to alts on their Bitcoin pair, that they from time to time take a little more time before it eventually plays out? Because I think that people understand the game better and better. In the meantime, more people were in BTC right now. So how alts got wrecked this cycle was slower, right? Here it was like very hard and a lot. Very fast and a lot. Here they went down a lot as well, but less than here. But it took a little longer. Here, altcoins didn't went down that much even against Bitcoin, but it takes a lot longer. Yeah, this is more painful. I mean, I can imagine that people feel like just rip the bandit off and let's go. It's what I would prefer as well. But hey, I mean, we cannot control it, right? It is what it is. But again, if you are ever doubting like, oh, alt season and it's different, well, look at this. And it's quite comforting because this kind of shows to me like, hey, the structure is actually fucking the same, right? Because, yeah, we were ranging right here, down, ranging right here, down. Yeah, and here we were ranging as well. So if anything, that downwards move, it makes sense. It makes the cycle more the same, actually. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Now, how far can this go down? That's the question we all have, right? Here we went down to this dead cat bounce, right? Here we are finding this range right now of the last cycle. So that might come in as support. Could it be that we go all the way to the lower range? It's good. I'm not ruling it out. It's good. But, you know, we'll find out. Overall, I do think, again, that if you look at the Bitcoin dominance and the risk levels and how especially this chart is looking, right? What I mentioned, this is the Bitcoin, ETH, USDT, USDC, and DAI dominance. So the dominance of everything, excluding alts, basically, sitting, the prime example of sitting at range lows, or range highs, sorry. So, yeah, I mean, if this chart goes down, that's Altseason, right? Yeah. Who the fuck is bullish on such a chart, right? I think that this is pretty obvious, actually. But it's all matter of time. Now, to get into the alts that I've bought, because I first wanted to show you, like, why buy? Well, one, the sentiment. Look in the YouTube comments. People are probably saying that I'm crazy for buying. So, yeah, I mean, that's the buying indicator already, right? 2, there's no retail right here. 3, all the charts that I've just showed. 4, the seasonality. 5, the outlook that QT is still going on, and that could only get better. There are so many reasons for me to be bullish on it. So, yeah, there it is. So there are a couple of alts that I have been buying. I have a watch list right here for the Alpha Factory. There's a link down below if you want me to put some charting on your coins, get on a call with me, whatever. So I was looking at this and I marked off some coins that looked like a decent buying opportunity or a pretty risky environment at the moment, actually. Now, I bought a couple. I bought some CX, Chintai. Why? Well, honestly, let me get to this chart because otherwise I don't have my drawings, actually. Why did I buy this? I think the product is pretty interesting. And also when I looked at the chart, I was looking at this for a long time. And I felt like, man, you know, it came from far. And we are now at a crucial support point. Could get lower, so therefore I didn't went all in. I'm never going all in though. But I feel like, man, this is an important level, right? And I mean, if you're not buying here, then where? Right? Like, are you waiting for the lows? No one's guarantee you that they will come, right? So if anything, if you skipped all of this and now buy here, yeah, you are outperforming everybody that was ever in this coin since September 2024, right? I bought some Dogecoin. I think that Dino coins will have a run, actually, at a certain point, right? Especially when retail comes in general. Yeah, then they will probably open Coinbase, Binance, and be like, hey, I know Doge. And you can say whatever you want, but Doge is always so far an outperformer. This chart is not giving full history, but Doge is insane chart-wise, actually. I bought more Tau because my average entry was a little high. I was on a loss with Tau, and I bought it 290 exactly here, actually. That was awesome. Tau is just obviously one of the stronger altcoins. You can see that on the chart. You don't have to TA it. You don't have to do anything. You can just look at the chart and be like, oh yeah, okay, this thing is an outperformer, right? And I think there's a bright future for Tau, actually. I bought some more Super simply because, one, it is sitting at a fat support level. Two, every time the market pumps, Super outperforms. And I think that's pretty... yeah, that says a lot, especially given the fact that it's everything but gaming at this moment, right? Well, then I think it's pretty cool that a gaming coin is actually always outperforming in every pump, right? It's crazy. So I needed to get that. Render. Also, I wanted to get a strong AI play, and Render is just simply one of the best, and the support that it's sitting on right now, it speaks for itself, right? The support is huge. And again, I'm not saying that it cannot break to the downside, but again, if you are like assuming that support will break, yeah, then you shouldn't buy in the first place. But yeah, this level has meant something since 2021. For 4 years, it functioned as support resistance. So I'm very curious to see how Render is going to play out. And again, it could be that all these coins will find a lower place eventually, right? But that's the thing about DCAing. You don't know. If I knew that this was the bottom, I would have gone all in, of course, right? So, but hey, overall, this is a pretty good level, especially considering that it came from 13 bucks. It's now 280. Yeah, come on. That's great. That's great. I bought some RAI, actually. Why? Well, to be honest, I just saw Becker talking about this, and this is not the right one. Let me see if I can get it. Reploy, there we go. Maxi. I saw Becker talk about this coin, and I looked into it, and I was like, maybe as a microcap moonshot, and well, not a lot, absolutely not a lot, but maybe as a microcap moonshot, this might be something. I think they have a pretty cool product, actually, considering how low the market cap is. So I bought it here, already up a little bit. And these are these type of projects that even if I'm up 15%, I'm gonna take some out already, right? This is more of a short-term thing. It's not necessarily a long-term hold for me. And I bought some Joe, as always. Why? Because it is sitting at, like, well, one, my average entry on Joe sucked. It was around 40 something cents. I was lowering it pretty decently, but now that it was sitting at 12 cents, I felt like, damn, like if it goes up, then I will regret not buying here. And I figured, let me get some more Joe. Joe is the leading DEX on Avalanche. Avalanche is a fucking great chain. I know price performance of AVAX in the last couple months hasn't been too great, but yeah, what was actually, right? And I think that if AVEX will do well, Joe will do well. I'm staking these tokens. I'm getting the fees from the platform that way. And I think that this, you know, Joe has showed that whenever the market turned bullish, it did an 9.5x. Yeah, it's now at that level again, right? I'm not saying it will do that again. It could also go higher. It could also go lower. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is literally the best place to buy this token ever in history, right? It never went lower than this. And maybe next week it is. But then again, fuck that. Like, what else do you want? Like, this is the best opportunity for Joe so far. So that's what I've been buying, plus one other coin. And I want to get into some explanation about this coin and why I think this is going to moon really hard. And what's so cool about this project, and this is, of course, Web3 Whales. This is my project, and I've been buying more and more tokens. Soon I will do a very big purchase, actually. We just rebranded the whole website. It's looking so much better right now. You have all the information right there. You have your own user dashboard where you can see your stake tokens, where you can see, I have to connect my wallet again, where you can see the DAO that you voted on. I will do that in a bit. And I want to give a little explanation as we have new staking pools and what it is. So for the people that have no idea what this is, I can guarantee you're going to love it. And for the people that do know what it is, I want to show you quickly how it works on the new website. I think that we have currently a 700K market cap or something like that. And yeah, 0.7 million. We went to 8 million. I think that 20, that's something that I feel like if we don't achieve that, then what the fuck? But again, as a founder, I cannot give you this kind of information, of course, because I don't know, but I know more than I should know. Because for the people that don't know what this is, we invest in startups, right? So if you look at our Gitbook, for example, we have it on the website actually. We invest in IDOs, right? Pre-sales through Seedify. We have the highest tier there. We have the highest tier on ChainGPT. We are in Neo Tokyo. We are on this and that. And we invest in all these coins that you see right here. A lot of them still have to come out, and I'm really happy with that because the projects lately that decided to go with the TGE didn't end up that well, right? But a lot of big investments from us, they still have to release. There's not one of the bigger investments, but ChronoForge, for example, we invested 16K in there. They haven't released yet, right? Took 1.5 years so far. Yeah, these are private sales. That takes a long time, of course, right? Now, we have a couple insane investments in these projects. And I know how much money we invested. Let's say that all these tokens come out at a just zero ROI, just initial back, that's it. If we put that money back in our token with the current liquidity, I know what the price impact is going to be. Let alone if we get into that alt season that looks very likely to happen and these tokens do a 5 or 10x. A token of ours with a 700K market cap and around 200K in liquidity, there are some ways to do calculations on that. And therefore, I, as an investor, feel like this is the most brain dead obvious play ever. If you expect the market to do well, then this should be the coin, if you know, a low cap at least, to invest in. Also, why? The problem with low cap coins is not necessarily that they die in the market because the community stops believing. In my opinion, it's more because the founders stop believing. They give up. There's no real utility. They don't know what they do. They just entered crypto themselves. They don't know what to expect in this market. You know my content by now. I am not getting scared by a 20% correction. I am not giving up whenever the market has some bad news or doesn't look good. I have a longer term time horizon. And I apply that to this project as well. So I think that, you know, it makes all the difference actually. So we have all these nodes as well, giving us a great income, well, blah, 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 blah. So let me show you the new DApp and how it works. So we just rebranded the whole website, the logo, a couple things don't make sense yet, like the supply, etc. We still have to adjust that makes sense. But you have your user dashboard. Here you can see everything that applies to you when it comes to the token, how much tokens you have, how much staking you have, the stake balance that you have, the portfolio details, the staking, the governance that you voted on. So it's all looking completely fantastic. The UI and how it just looks is so freaking beautiful. And we get more stuff in the future with AI, etc. There's the swap on our own website, so you can decide that if you want to buy the token or sell the token, you can just go to our own website. You can also do it on PancakeSwap, and you can here choose to do that. Now, the staking is where it gets pretty interesting. So for the people that have no clue, again, we invest with the highest tiers in pre-sales, private sales, etc. Let's say, how do we get that money? By the way, we started with a buy tax, we started with a sell tax, and that got the snowball rolling, and we made some decent money, you know, during the first, you know, small leg of this market. Like for example, with Chappies, we invested $17,000, and in total we had a profit of $74,000. You know, and then people that stake the Web3 Whales token, they vote like, hey, how it's gonna be divided, right? 20% in the staking pool, so that the people stake the token, claim the rewards in stable coins, right? And also these days in Web3 Whales tokens, but also buying back and burning the Web3 Whales token. This thing is deflationary as fuck, and that's a way to make sure that the community is, you know, investing in a coin that's doing literally the work for them. And yeah, it just works so freaking fantastic. I absolutely love it. Now, we have new staking pools. We have a 1 month pool, 3, 6, 1 year, and 3 years. So the more tokens you stake, the higher your share of the money that we're gonna divide. Hey, and at the top of the bull market, we also want to sell our CDFI and ChainGPT tokens, now worth around 150, 200K. Let's say that 10x's, 2 million, whatever. We're going to divide that money here as well. Now, again, the more tokens you have, the more you get, of course. But also now we have a multiplier system. So if you stake for 1 month, you get 0.5x rewards. So then every staked token is seen as half a token, basically. If you stake for 3 months, you just, 1 token is 1 token. 6 months, you get twice the rewards for your tokens. 1 year, 3 times the rewards, and 3 years, 5 times the rewards, right? So if you stake 100,000 tokens in this pool, then it's same as getting rewards for 500,000 tokens. Now, in an IDO season, we want to prevent people from seeing how much rewards are coming in, because you can follow actually on our Gitbook what we invested in. And if you keep your eyes on that project and you see like, whoa, they invested $2,000 in a project, they did a 400x, you know, I'm getting in the 3 years pool with these rewards, cool. Therefore, we have an early unstake penalty fee, right? So if you decide to stake for 3 years, most projects, they say, okay, you stake for 3 years, bam, that's it. I do want to give people some freedom, but I also don't want them to abuse the system. Therefore, in this highest pool, if you decide to get out early, cool, but you pay a 50% penalty fee. In the 1 year, that's 35, and the rest of the pools, it's 20, right? So if you were already staking on the Alt D app, you can here go to manage alt stakes. And here you can see what you have been staking, right? So you can now unstake your tokens for free, right? No unstaking fee. So I'm now claiming back my 1,000 Web3 Whales tokens out of this pool right here. And there you go, right? And now I have that in my wallet. So now I can say like, hey, I have my tokens. Let me refresh it so the website sees that I have these tokens in my wallet. And then I can say like, hey, I am going to go with the 1 month pool, with the 3 months pool. And then it's just simply a matter of clicking, going for the pool and just stake your tokens. So fill in how much tokens you want to stake, click the pool, 6 months, for example, stake tokens, and that's it, right? That's how you can do it. Now, what we also have nowadays is a calculator. So this is pretty cool for the people who actually feel like, hey, I want to know a little bit on what I can expect. So what is the current total staked Web3 Whales tokens, right? Now, we can see that right here. With the staking, total staked is, let's say, 17 million tokens, right? So 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say I want to stake in the 3 years pool, and I want to stake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million tokens. And let's say that we know that there's a project that came out, and we have $3,000 to divide. Then you can see how much you actually get of these rewards, right, in that month. So I thought, this is pretty cool to give people a little an idea of, what to expect. Again, we do 3 things when it comes to the rewards, right? So let's say we have a month where we have 100K profit. We let people vote, right? To either distribute that money, a certain percent, in stables, right? So we just literally deposit it in the staking pool, and here you can claim what's yours, right? Then you see the pending rewards right here. They are now in the old pool still. So if you claim your current tokens, you claim your rewards as well. 2, you can choose to also claim rewards in Web3 Whales tokens. So let's say people voted to be 25, 25, 25, 25% for easy math. Then we deposit $25,000 in the staking pool. We also use $25,000 to buy Web3 Whales from the open market and then deposit it here. We use 25% then to reinvest, right? To keep it in our portfolio to buy into the next pre-sales, because we want to keep on doing that. And we use 25% to buy the Web3 Whales token and burn it, right? And not just a buyback or not just a burn, the combination. The buying back makes sure that the price goes up, and the burn makes sure that these tokens can never be sold, so the floor is actually higher. I thought I'd take my time to cover Web3 Whales in a public video as well, because there are a lot of new people on the channel that may have never heard of this, and they'd be like, oh, fuck, this is pretty nice. The benefit also is that some people, they don't have a big seedified tier, right? They maybe have a small tier. We have a big tier. Right? And the ratio of getting, if you have tier 1 or tier 9, there's a difference. Because with tier 9, it's not that you get 9 times as much allocation, you get more than that, right? So it's more beneficial to be somewhere where there's a highest tier. Also, you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to invest and wait for the TGE and dump really soon and be stressed about it. Like we do that, right? You just have to get the token, stake it, and claim the rewards whenever they come in. That's it. Plus, if you live in a country, and there are a lot, where lunch pads are restricted, then you cannot even participate in these lunches. So this is basically a launchpad index, a IDO index, right? Just get Web3 Whales and boop, that's it. The last example, for example, and this was not percentage-wise, it was okay, given the current market, but money-wise, not really a banger. But we had the Peel from Seedify, right? We invested $558. Yeah, we made $3,000 out of it. So $2,400 profit. Hey, again, that adds to the, right? Because it's this one, plus this one, plus this one, plus this one, right? And the list goes on and on and on. Now with the Peel, for example, in specific, yeah, it's a very low investment, yet still with tier 9, but that's because it was just 100K market cap initially, right? So the raise was really low. So the more we invest, yeah, the higher the raises, so the higher the market cap, so the less big the upside, essentially, right? But hey, this is adding up like that. And I would say for the people that are already in, yeah, wait until certain coins come out, like Play Ember hasn't came out yet, Evermoon hasn't came out yet, Providence not out yet, right? But these are some really big projects, Somo as well. And these are a lot of gaming. That was the thing back then, gaming. I am very happy that these projects are not TGE yet, because there were a couple gaming projects that did decide to TGE, and it showed they went to shit, right? That's not what you want, of course. MC2 Finance, by the way, also I think that's a really, really interesting one. Straight Fire is straight fire. So the projects that are now still yet to TGE, I think that these teams are good because they understand that they should not do that right now. So whenever they do, it's probably the right moment. And yeah, then if such a $35,000 investment does a 20x or so, yeah, that adds to the pile, definitely, right? Yeah, then you can calculate again for yourself, like, ooh, if it's all of this, and we have 60, 1, 2, 3, like, oh, then I get 70K, right? You have to be quite of a whale to do that. But yeah, at the moment, our price is low, right? Web3 Whales, I think it's in Dutch right here. Let me change that real quick. Yeah, here we go. There we are, right? We're sitting at 8 cents, right? Now, for the people, again, that are new, you might feel like, hey, there's a variable tax function and they can change that. And isn't that dangerous? Look, if your founder is some kind of a meme coin creator that never shows his face, yeah, then I would be pretty concerned. Then again, I'm here every day. You know who I am. This is my project. If this is getting rugged, and it's on me, right? Like, so don't worry. The reason we have this is that we can adjust, right? I don't see the reason why we should renounce it, because that would mean that we can never change the sell tax or whatsoever. Now, in this rebranding that we just had, it was actually very nice to have the opportunity to do so, because people had to unstake to get into the new staking pool. So we also deleted the emergency unstaking tax of 20%. That was also able for us to do, right? Because we don't want to say, hey, you have to go into a new staking pool, but you have to pay 20%, right? No, we put that at 0. But therefore, we also said, like, hey, then people can also sell. So temporary, we set the sell tax at 10% so that people don't abuse that transition right now. And that is going back to where it was. Again, once, you know, most people are in the new staking pool. So, yeah, This is my baby, man, and we're gonna do fantastic if the market is going up again. Because again, that's what I said. I personally, why did I start this project? Because in the bear market of this cycle and the run up towards the bull market, I made a lot of money, right? In this period right here, I made a lot of money by getting into sales like ChainGPT and Hypercycle and I don't know what. And I was like, why not do it with the, I'm talking about it all the time, how people can do it. Why not do it with these people, right? So therefore, together, we are Web3 Whales, and we do this together right now. Yeah, and that's the cool thing about pre-sales. Here, new sales, we're doing fantastic. Here they sucked. Here they were fantastic again. Here they sucked. And it just goes with the market. Who wants to get into new sales whenever the market is going down in the first place, right? We know that the market is not down only. At least maybe a couple guys in the comments that are trolling like, ha, it's over. Ha, it never go up again. Ha, okay. But, you know, apart from that, we know that the market goes up and down, up and down. And in the up moments or in the down moments, that's where we prepare. That's what you should do as an investor as well. And that's what I do. And that's what I do with Web3 Whales. And when it's up, that's when you're getting these rewards, right? So I want to leave it here. Overall, that's Web3 Whales. By the way, for the people that have missed it, it's web3whales.app. But if you want to be sure, go to CoinGecko and check out the links through there, right? Then you'll know you're safe. So that's Web3 Whales, my buys that I made. And, basically the altcoin season chart that should comfort everybody that's maybe in doubt about it, right? I hope this was helpful. Sorry, pretty long again, but sometimes this info is needed. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on. And I'll see you in the next one.